Hi folks, just a very quick one on how you can change your rear seats in a Mazda Bongo. This is especially useful if you have a rear conversion like I do in this van. As you can see, the rear kitchen there is two seats and the bit in the middle where a table would usually be. My tool set's living there at the moment. The bench seat here that usually faces the other way around faces the front. You can see a seat belt here and a seat belt here, and there's a lap belt in the middle. However, I thought it would be more useful to have this facing towards the back, so that you kind of have this couch and then you have your table here. However, there's a bit of a difficulty with this because if you swap the seat around like I did, it can be difficult to move the seat along the rails in the ground here. You can move the seat easily enough, but you won't be able to slide the seat up and down unless you do a couple of modifications. Now on this one, you can see that it is free to move up and down. So how did I do it? First of all, take these covers off. They snap off, kind of like that. There's a clip at the back. That's the clip in the middle there. And that clip goes into this hole. So you just kind of pull it out, give it a bit of a tug, takes it out. There's 4 of these bolts, they're size 17. There's one here, there's one over here, and there's 2 more here and over at the other side. So if you take those off, you end up, the seat is loose, and you can then lift the seat off of these, off of their runners, which run on these rails. So the runners will remain in the rails and the seat will come out. I recommend having 2 people to lift the seat out. It's heavy, but more importantly, it's awkward as well. So the runners will be left behind. What you'll need to do in order to have the runners, in order to make sure that this can still move, is I'm just going to take this off to show you this cover. There's 2 Crosshead screws holding this cover in. It's fairly flimsy, so be careful when you're removing it. You don't want to crack it. One of mine is cracked already, so just be careful. There we go. Comes off pretty easily though. Now, so there's the side of the seat. This piece is actually the runner that remains on the rail. If I didn't have a rear conversion or kitchen in the back, I'd be able to move that all the way down the track, move a pin out at the back. There's other videos on YouTube with that, and then you slide it out and you could swap it, put that one onto the other rail and the runner on the other rail into this one, and then you can move up and down like normal without that being an option. I didn't want to take out the rear conversion. Instead, I had a look at how these runners actually work. So this, if you can see this bit here, that is actually the spring in here, and when you pull the bar to move the seat up and down like you would normally, the bar actually lifts this piece of steel in here and this piece, which goes into the track, and that allows it to move back and forth. When you drop it and it goes clunk, that's when the track drops into one of the holes on the rail. Let's see if we can show you one of those maybe. It's quite dark, but see, those are a couple of them there. So it drops into those, and that's what locks it in place. What I've done is a pretty simple little modification that I can always undo. When I did this when the seat was lifted out, you can see here how it's attached. Here, it's another one over here underneath the plastic cover. So once the seat was out, I got a large Allen bolt. Get those in a lot of different sets, and if you press down on the bit of steel here, there's a steel plate, press down on that, and that lifts this one. Sorry, it's very out of focus there, isn't it? Sorry. So that lifts that one up. So another option is to drill that, which I attempted to do, as you can probably see, but it's 2 mils of steel. The drill bits just weren't going through it. So instead, jam this bolt in here, and that prevents the tracks, that prevents the mechanism from going down and catching into one of the holes, so it allows you to slide it up and down. If I took that out, which you can pry it out, then the spring will allow it to go back down into the track, and then you won't be able to move it. Now you might be wondering, how do we keep this all in place now that we have the seat turned around? And that's what I'm going to show you now. So I have a little torch here. I'm going to have to get that to face down. This may not be great quality, but it will give you an idea of what's going on. So you have a couple of options. What I did was I actually drilled a little hole into the runner. Let's see. There's one there. Oops, it's really hard to see. There's one there just to the right of my middle finger there. So I drilled a small hole there. I did that when the seat was out, obviously. And you can actually get like a small Allen key with that size, but it depends on what size hole you drill, or if you want to use one of the holes that's there already, you can do that too. But I just felt like this was a tighter fit. So what you do is, sorry, the torch is kind of in the way. There's also these nice kind of rubber flaps, which, you know, you don't really see what's going on underneath there. It's a bit of a pain to work on, but it's there's the hole. See there? So what you can do is just drop an Allen key in there, or anything really, once you have that hole drilled. Or you can use the ones that are already done, but they're a little further up, so the bed will, or the couch will rock a little bit. And now you'll be able to see it barely moves. There was another hole at the back here, and I threw a small little bolt into that too, so it's secure on both sides. I didn't do any on the other rail. I didn't think there was a need. It's pretty secure as is, and that'll do fine. And you know, without seat belts back for rear facing passengers, I won't be carrying people there anyway. Apart from the lap belt, you could use that. So it just needs to be stable enough to be, you know, to sit on it for a cup of tea or whatever. And because the Allen bolt down here, sorry, get this in focus again, because that's pretty removable, we'll see how removable it is now, but because it's fairly easy to remove, there we go, I can take it out and you can roll it up and then put the seats flat to make a bed. So it keeps, you know, makes everything very easy. There are other more comprehensive ways that you can do this, but it would involve, I think, removing this kitchen, which I wasn't really up for. And this way seems to work. Didn't take too long. So hopefully that's of some assistance to you. Thanks for watching, and have a good evening, morning, day, whatever it is for you. Bye.